Welcome to the round of 8, game number 1 here. I am playing Control Magic. He's playing War. What I expect from his range is I expect this to be Aggro War. So I expect him to be coming out with a lot of aggression. The question here is, do I have time for Phlegmatic Bibliomaniac? I'm not sure I do. Stormstress is good. Leyhorn is a bit sus when I plan on tracking on 2. So,
let's see how
I thought behind that mulligan there.
Me.
Look,
I totally suspect he's aggro.
so just,
I haven't seen really Control War from him. So yeah, he gets out this, which is actually a really good turn 1, since I'm holding 2 tracking bolts and can't really deal with it. So here I have the option of pinging face or pinging minion, and I'm going to elect to ping minion here. You could have argued playing a tracking bolt on that turn, but I elected to go with the ping instead. It's less committal. Now he has this. His order of operations was good because I can't really exploit this here. Alright, we get a Shaped Blast, which is interesting. I feel like I need to go ahead and hit here. I don't really like it, but I don't want to just absorb tons of damage for no reason here. So next turn we can pip into either Shape Blaster or Guild Enforcer. So I'm going to lead with Guild Enforcer here. I know if they had another round on this, we're kind of screwed. But I like to live dangerously, as the kids say. Could have argued Shape Blast followed by Stormstress the following turn, but if he doesn't have it, this really slows him down, and then maybe the Stormstress the turn after can take control. I'm really just trying to prevent leakage, just damage in general. And okay, we draw the Imp. I was worried about a buff there, so I'm okay with the Imp. We're drawing this attack, probably the attack from the God, then the Stormstress kills these 2 minions and still proposes a 3/6 threat onto the board, so we feel good about this. Or do we play the Shape Blast here? I think I'm going to go with the Shape Blast here. You could have argued the Stormstress was better.
Patience is a virtue.
But the Shape Blast is effective. And we can buy the best card of the Sanctum, which is indeed the Rune of Fire. I don't want him to get the Rune of Fire because that's just additional damage to my face. Cunning Challenger, this creature is super annoying. They give us Ward, which is also super annoying.
This looks promising.
Let's see here. I think this is another time to slap out another Guild Enforcer. He might have a Soul Survivor here, which will be very annoying, but I can just ping and then a Star Shard to get rid of it. And he doesn't add any additional stats to the minion. You could have argued that ping Star Shard was the line last turn instead of risking this for the biscuit, but instead they're attacking into there. And this will kill the Guild Enforcer. We have another Cunning Challenger here. We do have Star Shard capabilities, tracking capabilities here, which is very good. So I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this the most efficient manner possible here. If I'm tracking, I get rid of the ward here, Rune of Fire here, and ping here gets me there. So that's what we're going to do. Into everything here. Give up the Rune of Fire to take that one out, ping this one out. Next turn we can play Stormstress, which kills this. We're at 24, so we feel pretty good about this. We're also baiting the Sanctum. Either one of those dies to Stormstress, so we're feeling pretty good about that. That keep preserves the Axewoman, so that's good for that proportion, but they're going to go wide into the Stormstress, which is what we were wanting here. So we get the Stormstress to come out here. This will kill 2 minions, allow us to buy the Form of Power and remove 1 minion from their board. And this prevents totally getting wrecked from Soul Survivor next turn. So that's the idea behind that. So now we are very close in live total. He goes ahead and concedes. Game number 1 goes our way. After game number 1 went our way, we're going into game number 2 here. I am queuing with Aggro War. He is probably playing Zombie Death here. He is going first. If he gets the early Necroceptor, I have no answers for that. So that's one thing to keep in mind about this matchup. I like the Rage Reveler worse than the Thunder Caller because of the specific matchup Blight Bomb, which is very, very, very effective here. And not a good mulligan here. We want another minion to go along with our Trial Spirit, and we get it. No Relic Hate in the Sanctum for us, so we are just going to have to outpace him here if we can. Definitely a scary matchup from my perspective. This is not what I wanted to queue into with Aggro War, and probably what he was hoping for when queuing with zombies.
Get ready.
So they have the Voracious Fiend here. This is a good opportunity to get out the Tavern Brawler, which takes this out. We're going to remove the Leech minions first, and then attack the base. And we get the buff here on the Trial Spirit, which is very fortunate. Now the question is, does he have the Necroceptor? It's the card that we're scared of, and we're hoping he doesn't have it. He does not play it this turn. That's the good news. And he pips out a Blight Bomb for this minion, which is not all that surprising.
My turn.
No time is better than the presence to drop down a Thunder Caller here. Go ahead, go straight towards the face. And asking, again, the question, does he have Necroceptor? Probably going to see this 2-1 trade into here, which is what we expected to have happen. He gets to draw a card, and does he have it? He indeed gets it. Big moment in the game for my opponent here. So I am going to go with this line here. I'm going to spread the strength of my minions around instead of just fighting for board control here. We are going straight towards their face here. We're going to ignore this zombie. We're going to pretend like that thing isn't there. We're coming with pure speed, pure straight towards the face, simple Gods Unchained gameplay
My
here.
patience wears thin.
He does have a Guild Enforcer.
At last.
So this and this kills this. We can get him down to 1 this turn. I like applying the pressure here. So hypothetically, if he has another Guild Enforcer, this is a problem.
You step beyond
And I
your
think we just get
domain,
there
little
here.
soldier.
He ends the game with his own GP, and we take game number 2. Queuing into game number 3, we won game number 1, we won game number 2. This is the opportunity to clinch my spot into the Final Four. We're playing Control Deception. They are probably coming back at us with Aggro War. That is my assumption. So we want early game stuff. Frontline's good, Umber Arrow's good, Pickpocket's actually solid on 1. Is this a full keep? I'm gonna keep. It's questionable to keep, but I like the front line. Bound by Her Will's a good top deck as well. The pickpocket on one's pretty solid because I'm guaranteed to basically copy something from his hand. The awkward thing is I don't have a turn 2 if he plays a 3-2 here. But if you were like to play a couple of small minions, I could in theory get value out of Umber Arrow. Yeah, we see the Bulk as captain. Counterfeit. I don't want to counterfeit that. Hate to just do this on 2, but I feel like there's no other option here. We get information about their hand. We know they have a Raid Reveler, which I guess isn't that useful because they just slap it down right here. Yeah. I'm going to try to slow him down just a tad. Get this out there here. And trade these. You could argue that that's not the best line, but there were a lot of things there. They have another round for this minion, and that's going to be problematic. This can go face, this can take this out. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. CTI is interesting. So what I'm going to do here is we're just going to go ahead, get this Raid Reveler out there, weaken this minion somewhat so we're taking less damage. Eventually we're going to drop the carriage, we're going to try to find the right moment. Okay, Cunning Challenger, that's super annoying. So here, I can Umber this, run these 2 into here. Trying to think if there's a good line here. Then pip out this as one option. Umber this, hit here, this. Okay, yeah, this is the line. This has to be the line. Go ahead, this. So this actually buffs my Inconspicuous Carriage in my hand. We will take in, we'll allow another trade or take an additional 2 and have them pump something else, but with this in hand, also the Cutthroat, we might be able to steal whatever's getting buffed. Could have done that. Okay, another Umber Arrow opportunity here. Do I simply, I think I simply Stone Skin, get out the carriage. I can hit here. Well, Stone Skin allows me to hit here. Umber. Yeah, the Formula Sanctum's interesting. I like this line, it's kind of smooth. So we're finally pushing some damage here. Can they get by the carriage is the question. And that is problematic. I can indeed steal that with the Cutthroat. I mean, the counterfeit. Go face twice, buy the Shield Maiden, which buys me a tad bit of time. Not a lot of time, though. Maybe try to set up a Rapture if he attacks here into here. So this is the time for counterfeit. Let's go ahead and take this relic while we can. And then these 2 need to go towards the face here, which allows us to buy the Shield Maiden for extra protection. Now I'll go face with this for now, in case we draw another counterfeit, and this version is running too. Now the question is do I want to hide this carriage or not? I think not, because the pip, if we draw into Witherfingers next turn, we need the pip. And having this as front line might be advantageous. But they can do this attack by the form and then go face with this, which is problematic. But then maybe we rapture if they go wide here, because they need to spend mana. Okay, that spends mana. Yeah, this is unfortunate for us because we take 8 here, and unless we top deck, we lose. Guild Enforcer might save us here temporarily. Being honest with you, I'm not feeling optimistic about our proposition, though. I don't think this is going to end well. I think this is going to end with me losing this turn. They can hit here. Blade of Styx is lethal. Vicious Rend is lethal. More things are lethal than aren't lethal, and Soul Survivor is one of those things that is indeed lethal. So JKAN will take game number 3, and it will at least game number 3 if necessary. So here we are, game number 4. I'm trying to be somewhat tricky here. I am queuing in with Aggro Deception after playing Control Deception the previous game. And my God Power selection doesn't actually give this away, because historically I have played with this God Power as control. So we don't want the arms dealers in our opening hand. So let's go ahead, remove those, and ooh, this is just so ugly here. Wow, just so many 4-drops.
Fingers crossed.
That was not a very
Best
good
of
mulligan
luck.
here. And unfortunately, if he's playing control,
My turn already?
these switch duelists often die to Beguiling Blade, which is very tragic. So I'm definitely worried about Beguiling Blade by playing the switch duelist, but I had no other options. The Encumbered Looter will get value for him. I do overall like this matchup, though I just don't like my opening start here. Obviously going second, not ideal when you're playing an aggro deck. And, ooh, he's going to be able to bound by her will, but actually it's not as evil as it looks, because the Feral Shapeshifter will indeed take care of this. So go ahead, remove that minion. This is just a 2-3 right now. I think we're just going to sit. If I attack face with this, they can trade in GP, which I think is advantageous towards them. So another minion for our opponent that is somewhat annoying. I can push damage here. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Go ahead, that goes towards the face. This goes towards the face as well. So you want to play the Assassin's Aim now, because the following turn there's Rapture potential, which is very interesting. Very likely with his deck too. Guild Enforcer is very problematic though. They go back to the Sanctum, they get more frontline. And we get things that get wrecked by very likely cards they are to have in a Rapture Dance. So here, we're going to go ahead with the Sanctum here, see what happens. I hate this option, but I think it's the best one. I just gave them 9 favor. Guess we'll see what we get from this first. We get a Helion. That will definitely catch him by surprise, but we're doing this trade because of Rapture, really. So we've got him to 17. Getting through one Guild Enforcer is good. That's a problematic minion from our perspective. A Battle Oryx and Pickpocket there. Lethal Prowler is something that we can use to get value next turn here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play Arms Dealer and I'm going to pip out to kill this. So we're still out of the danger range of Raptures, which is good. And next turn can push 9 with this, potentially with the surprise delivery behind it. We could be looking good here. Cutthroat, they're probably going to take the Lethal Prowler or the surprise delivery here. Be interesting to see which way they go. A lot of big threats in my hand that they're going to be aware of. This is trading for the Battle Oryx next turn. And they elect to go with the Sneaky Bruiser, so that's the card that they thought was the most scary in my hand. The Wind-Up Roller, they're kind of digging here, also applying some bit of pressure. We're actually at the same life holder here. The Rune of Strength and the Sanctum, that's a big one. A big card indeed. So I can actually trade here, Selfless Guildmate here, Ruin here, Hide. What do I lose to if I do this? I guess I don't get the Ruin off in time, though. We're definitely buying that, and we're definitely going to pump Hide here. So hypothetically, if they have nothing next turn, we're threatening lethal with a Lethal Prowler. So that's something they have to keep in mind. They know I just top-decked Selfless Guildmate. They really need to play a frontline this turn, because then we can't play Lethal Prowler and do things with this. So we're probably doing something along those lines. So they're clearing the minion. Do they have a frontline this turn? We played around Rapture very nicely. This is not going to get it done for them. Lethal Prowler will be lethal and will send us to the final four.